there.
Mind of its own. Become a mind of its own. What's that?
Okay, it's 7 o'clock, and I'd like to call this meeting to order, April 11th, 2023. We'll have a flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council, I have received a text from Mr. Wold, and he says that I'm still at baseball, so I won't be at the meeting. And I responded, my phone was off, I'll let Barbara know. So, Council's been told as well. Okay, first item, approve, oh, wait a minute, back up. Council, I have to add to the agenda under unfinished business. Okay, it's the Quail Loop, and it's in capital letters, NEPA, environmental assessment, and action will be required. So any objections with that addition? All right, so unfinished business. So back up to approval of March 28, 2023, regular meeting minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the April 11th, 2023 minutes. I mean, way back,
Yeah.
March 28th.
Okay.
And I second the motion.
Okay, moved and seconded to approve March 28, 2023 meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Oh, okay. Council, you have the Quail Loop NEPA environmental assessment. Okay, this just came in this morning from Mr. Remick, Century West, and you can see that it is another form that has been submitted, and I'll just read you the message here from Mr. Remick. There just needs to be a motion to approve for mayor to sign. This will confirm the finding of no significant impact for the project, and this is the Quail Loop project. The SEPA checklist that was signed before was for state review. This one is for federal review. Once it is signed, we will need to publish another public notice. Then CDBG will release the project funds so we can finish the design and get it out to bid. So it's just one step closer to getting Quail Loop process going. So you can take a minute to, pretty much the first page is a summary of what the other pages are. We are replacing the water main up there.
I was just thinking, you know, because that was gravel at one time, but then I never remember any pipe.
No water line.
Not bad.
Okay, what road are you talking about?
Well, when we went up to that first pipe, that time,
Clarence? And then down Iowa,
oh,
and then Vulcan. That's gonna be all replaced.
so, because this is funny, too.
And I think there's some hydrants up there too.
Yes. There's a funny terminal valve up there, terminal walk off the valve up the top, we have to go down to Third Street.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so, if it needs your approval for signing, remember, it's, this is for federal review. The state review has already been done.
I make a motion to accept the NEPA environmental assessment.
I second that motion.
So you direct me to be able to sign it. It's been moved and seconded to accept the Quail Loop NEPA environmental assessment and have it signed by the mayor and then get it back to Mr. Remick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so thank you. That will be done first thing tomorrow morning. First item under new business is code compliance update. And with that, I will turn the floor over to Henri. And council, you have Henri's packets that he compiled for you. So
There are 3 different parcels that the resolution abatement forms were already sent to the 3 parties, and they picked up their return receipt requested letters, and they have not responded in the time frame allowed on the notice to abate. So the next step would be for discussion on how we would like to proceed at this time. Okay, we could start with, look for the one that says 602 West Clarence. We can start with that one in your packets. Okay. This piece of paper here is what is done so far. Okay. It's conditions which constitute a nuisance, brush, weeds, accumulated debris, fire hazard, a health violation, unused and abandoned junk vehicles, travel trailers, motorhomes, and parts thereof are ordinance violations, and there are occupied habitation of motor homes and travel trailers, which is a violation of the zoning code in that parcel. Okay, we already sent letters last year, March 14th, May 31st, June 7th, August 22, and March 23 to clean up the property. There were responses, I'm cleaning, but it never got done. Okay, a notice of violation in order to abate, which the town council signed on March 28th, was sent to them with no response, except they picked it up. They had a chance in the time frame before this meeting to come to town hall and file an appeal of why they shouldn't have to clean up the property, and that was not done. So now the next step is you have the ability to discuss a resolution for it, which would be done at the next council meeting. We cannot approve it because it's not on the council agenda, but you get ready for it, and then next time the resolutions for the different properties would be put into, I guess, law if you And if you look at the pictures on that parcel, you have the overhead shots, which show the progression of stuff being brought to the property. From 2020 to 2022 is the last one I can get up, and then there's a Google map of 2023, and the vehicles keep getting more and more. And there's photos from the front, from the street, that show that things really aren't moving. They, from 4/10/22 to 4/10/23, and nothing's really been taken out of there. And it's, you know, it's one of the worst eyesores that we have so far on that parcel. Okay, these pictures are called Exhibit A. That will be put into the resolution packet if the resolution is done. Okay, and then we have it's the resolution, the Exhibit A, and then you also have the piece of paper here that tells exactly what is wrong with the property, and it's all part of the resolution. You could say that the Exhibit A is the photos, and Exhibit B could be the description, and that's what would be done, you know, for that particular parcel. If you've gone up there, you can see all the stuff up there. And there's many cars going up and down that street. People are living in the trailers that really don't belong there. Some are not family members. Even if it's a family member, the zoning ordinance says that no trailers can be lived in.
We know what it says, Henry, but the thing is, the town needs to act, and I think just the mayor by herself can do that. She doesn't even need the council. You know, so what is the hold up?
Well, it has to
I mean,
go.
I'm for getting rid of these people.
Right, well,
Yesterday,
don't forget,
you know.
the council is the governing body of the town, so the council has to make a decision.
Which we had in the past, I think.
For everything, that's what you just did. You just did a decision on that next step for the loop.
Yeah.
So it's the same with this.
You did your
But
first
you can say tonight, you could say, yes, let's go forward. But since it wasn't on the agenda, it goes on the agenda as old business, and you can just do the resolution at that time. But this is as far as it's gotten so far, so it's within 2 weeks.
I think I'm with the other council members, you know, to move on.
Okay, our next movement, there has been no appreciable,
Movement at all?
movement on these properties.
No. No. I mean, it's been a year to do it. We had all answers, right, to do it, and nothing's being done. That's this one, you know, then you have the 2 pennies third.
No, let's stay on.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. The pictures are almost like when you see those little cartoon things. Pick out the difference between the two pictures. You can do that there where you can see the vehicles coming. There wasn't one picture in 2 months, and there's another one there.
I was asking, do you want a motion, or do you want to do it all at process?
Well, the process would be completed when it gets on the agenda, right? I would say, I don't think you can just do a resolution. I haven't seen it in any RCW where you can just decide to do a resolution right away.
I make a motion to proceed.
Okay, for the 602? Okay.
That is correct.
Okay, so, motion has been made to proceed to the next step.
Next step, which would be at the next council meeting, a resolution.
Next council meeting for, 6:02, and I didn't write down the rest of the address.
Clarence.
Clarence, okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed? Motion carries.
Second parcel is 210 East Third Street. Okay, that's another one that's had 2 fires since January in trailers people were occupying that they weren't supposed to be in. Okay, the nuisance is unused and abandoned junk vehicles and parts thereof, travel trailers, motorhomes, weeds, trash, tires, furniture, and debris, and occupied travel trailers, which is zoning code violation. Letters have been sent to the owner and the tenant on March 10th, May 31st, June 7th, June 22nd, and June 29th of last year to clean up the property, remove the unlawful inhabitants, and nothing was done. Okay? The notice of violation in order to abate, which the town council signed last year, July 29th, 2022, and another one, March 28th, 2023, which we're following through on now, on March 28th. And you can see the pictures. Okay. Overhead shots show that it gets a little more and more all the time. With the fires, the one trailer that was burned, fire marshal says there's asbestos in it, loose in there, so that's something major when it gets cleaned up. It has to be taken care of.
I make a motion that on the address at 210 East Third Street, that we proceed with the next step.
Next step,
I second.
I put it on the agenda next for a resolution. And at that time, we'll have the resolution numbers. We'll sign them.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded to proceed to the next step, put on the agenda for the next meeting for 210 East Third. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries.
And the third one is 312 West Second Street in Lynn. Okay, that is a single wide. And if you look at the pictures, you can see the front pictures. I've got the Google pictures here. I got a picture from 2008 where it looks very neat. And then you go to the next one, there's more. And then you go to the last one, which I took, and you just see cars and things in the front. In the back, it now hasn't changed in the past year. Same cars abandoned in the alley, abandoned vehicle on the property, old disintegrated mattresses standing up there, tires on a shed. And it just is the same thing it's been for a year now. And the conditions are accumulated debris, trash, tires, etc. is a fire hazard, a health violation. There are unused abandoned junk vehicles, travel trailers, or parts thereof, which are ordinance violations. And we do not want any of the trailers that are in there to be used as a place of habitation. Code enforcement letters were mailed to the property on June 29th, August 19th, and 2022, and March 8th of 2023 to clean up the property. On all those letters, nothing was done. On March 28th, 2023, the council signed an order to abate the violations, and as of this date, They haven't responded. Picked up the packet from the post office, but have not responded. I've not asked for a hearing or anything. And the next step is a resolution to clean it up.
I make the motion that we proceed on 312 West 2nd Street.
I second it.
Moved and seconded to proceed to the next step, put on the agenda next meeting for 312 West 2nd. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This is newer business. This will be the next one where things are going to start to happen. There has not been any notice to abate, but they have their courtesy letter. There. Okay, and this is a copy of the courtesy letter that was sent to the people, the owner and the tenant, for this parcel on 305 East 5th. Okay, on the property, there's a new travel trailer, or a motorhome, I should say, that is now being lived in. That was brought in about a week and a half ago. The accumulation of materials, these are just a couple of pictures here. There are more. They've been brought in the past couple of months, I would say. Extra tires. There's all kinds of motorcycles, bicycles, mowers, old appliances. There's a fifth wheel, a slip-in pickup truck trailer. There's a boat that was brought in. And it's really a mess over there. And this letter was sent out saying that please clean it up. Okay, it says why. And the letter was sent on April 5th. And the letter says, towards the bottom, it says, if nothing is heard from you or the violations are not corrected by April 24th, then at the next scheduled council meeting on the 25th, the matter will be presented to the town council for further action at this time. And that would be the notice to abate, which will be prepared for the next meeting if they haven't cleaned up the parcel, or come to town hall to say what they're going to do. These pictures, if you look at the overhead shots, the one from 2020, it looks like you have a picnic in the backyard. There's just a few little things there, and now it's just so much clutter it isn't fun.
We get worse and worse house.
It's coming from a different house, right? Still? Yeah.
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, because I noticed that where it's coming from is cleaning up and it's going there. So people think that they're, well, I'll clean mine and I'll bring it someplace else. It's going to work in the town anymore, right? So this is just information, and notice of if they don't come through with any noticeable change, and there will be a notice to abate the next time.
Yeah, I think that's been going on a long while. I mean, I had it stopped once by Quail Water, but because the law has changed, I could not stop it. That is why it's allowed bad things. Since it's been there, drug activity every night. So it's not really trash, it's drug activity.
Right.
People don't want that,
Well, the neighbors next door did a complaint and I had to go out on Sunday.
I'm the one, mustn't say it, mustn't do it, but a lot of people want to take the law into their own hands, which is not good.
So this one at 305 is just information.
Just the information. The only thing is, 2 more weeks, put it on agenda for resolutions for the first three properties. If by some chance they do clean it up to the town's expectations, then a resolution would not be needed for that particular property. According to the ordinances.
Did you hand out that checklist?
Yeah, that was the first one. First one, yeah, that's what
Council, you
we've done
will,
so far.
you will note that, the one sheet of paper that's kind of got the timeline, the checklist, that's what, where we are kind of going with. So you can always keep that, put that on your refrigerator. Okay, anything
That's it.
else? Okay,
That's it
Council,
for
do
now.
you have any
Any questions?
questions for Henry?
Not really, Henry, now.
If the town has to do the cleanup, then it's a lien on their property or a collection agency to collect the money needed to clean it. If town employees have to clean it up, we keep time and materials, a list of how much it costs for everything, and it's submitted to the court.
I have actually talked to the owner of the house, and she said, well, that's my sister.
Oh, which house? The spot out of the
Sorry,
old.
305 Fifth.
We don't care about that.
That's the one opposite me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but that's,
She is not pushing forward for that. She is ignoring it. She said, I don't really want to fix it, that's my sister. But then she don't want the trash, you know.
right, right.
So how do you win? That's the brother that's doing all that.
Right, but it's on the responsibility of the person that owns the property.
But I can tell you now, through that property, 2 house sales gone under.
That's the problem. These,
And
These-
might not live
these
in
homes that are in disrepair or full of unlawful items is only lowering the resale value of any house in the town.
Well, we're getting there, and I know what it costs to get rid of that crap. Like I'm saying on that picture, them tires, they're $10 each to.
Right. I mean, a licensed hauler would have to haul the cars out because they do the VIN numbers and all that. And if the town doesn't want to use the town employees, then if they start doing that, then the whole, no grass gets cut, no weeds get done, no anything else. Where you hire outside contractors to do it, and they just charge the town, and then the town gets the money for the liens.
Okay, no questions? All right, thank you. Council, moving on to item B, Public Works Employment. I will turn it over to the council members on the recent 2 applicants. You all did the interviews, not at the same time, but we did have the interviews with the 2 applicants, so you can take it over.
I'm thinking, I'm for Christian, meek.on. Sorry,
It's Tristan.
Christian.
Tristan.
Yeah.
Tristan.
You're saying Tristan?
No, that's my English.
But you are saying Tristan,
Oh, wow.
not Christian, okay.
You gotta speak English, right?
I know, all right. But yeah, he's got a lot of qualifications. He's presentable. I think he has a nice personality and very, very good references. So, I'm for Christian. Yeah. Spot on.
I too was impressed with the kid, and he's willing to learn things that he doesn't know.
I didn't see him on the interviews, but from his resume and cover letters, I'm gonna also go with Tristan.
I'm in total agreement with that. Tristan Meek has a cover letter attached list, references for says. So my recommendation is that we offer the position to Tristan Meek. And I believe we need to make a motion for that.
I make a motion to have Tristan Meek.
I second it.
Okay, moved and seconded to offer the position to Tristan Meeks, or Meek, right?
Meek.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, with that hire, minimum wage is $15.74. There is a 6-month probation period that's in the employee policy. So I would like for you to make an offer of the salary per hour.
So with what experience he's coming in with, I suggest 17.
I agree, considering if he passes his probationary period, he'll be offered benefits and retirement and the works. So I think 17 is reasonable.
I agree with that, yes. $17, then he's got all the benefits, medical. So, yeah, I think 17,
I make a motion to offer 17.
second that. Everyone does.
It's moved and seconded to offer $17 per hour for this full-time position. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so, council, I will inform Tristan. He will be then asked to do the drug test. We'll do the background check and everything else that needs to happen for him to be full-time. Is there a start date that you wish for him to begin? Leave it up to him to get all of his testing done? I don't know, you want to say next Monday, you want to say tomorrow?
How long does it take to get all that stuff done?
Probably the drug test would be just making an appointment. He can make the appointment.
I say next month for Monday.
Well, that's what I was thinking, Monday, maybe.
Start the process of hiring.
Start Monday. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, mayor's report. I do not have anything except for the fact that I would like a while back, we were researching playground equipment for the parks, and the gentleman that is in our area that set up the play equipment there at the grade school and the parks up there at Ritzville. Finally got a chance to get back with us. So I would like to, Laura, you have little kids, so you kind of have a knack for what they would like to play with or on. Maybe you could look through the catalogs that he's left and start from there, get some opinions, comments. Okay, I'll give you those catalogs. Okay. But that's all I've got. That COVID really put the stoppers on people's progressions. So returning to the agenda for the Finance Committee.
Myra.
I didn't find it.
Okay, I make a motion that we pay the warrant check register dated 3/28/2023 to 4/10/2023 in the amount of $37,718.79.
I second the motion.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to approve the warrant check register for March 28th to April 10th of 2023 in the dollar amount of $37,718.79. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'd also like to make a motion paying the outstanding invoices dated 3/24/2023 and to 4/6/2023 in the amount of $16,460.88.
I second it.
Moved and seconded to approve and pay the pending invoices or outstanding invoices, March 24th to April 6th for $16,460.88. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Robert, do you have anything for the comment?
No,
No?
not tonight.
Myra? No? Laura, do you have anything?
I have a question about the new ordinance we made about the comments. So, it was my understanding that if they had a public comment that they would write it and we would address it to our discussion, obviously. So is that eliminating, say we have a discussion about something and somebody has a question, we're not allowed to answer them? Like if we're, if it's nothing related to their comment, if we're just having a discussion and they have a suggestion or comment on it, is that?
Okay, this is the form that was submitted. And it was approved. And all submissions can be in the written form versus the oral.
So say we were discussing, say playground equipment, we were just discussing that. If somebody in the audience had a question or a comment on that, we can't entertain them.
Well, certainly all they need to do is to submit their form.
So while I agree with the write-in comments, I do like that idea because, it does give us time to entertain them. They obviously don't like it. And I do feel like they should be allowed to comment on something we're discussing. I feel like if they have a comment, like how we used to do the sign-up sheet. If it's nothing related to what we're talking about, I think it's fair that they write it in and we answer it next time. But I do feel like if they have a comment or a suggestion, I feel like we should entertain them because suggestions are always good, right? Does anyone agree?
So you're saying a question?
Yeah, say we're just discussing something and they have a question that's not related to, that's related to what we're talking about, not something that they just want to ask us. Like these writing ones we have here, it's nothing relevant to what we've been discussing. But just something they want to know about. But if we're discussing a topic here and they have questions, then opinions on it.
Question about playground.
Right. I feel like we should entertain that. I feel like suggestions and comments are welcome. We don't always, sometimes opinions are good.
I agree, but I feel that the written form is a format.
If it's something not related to.
Irrespective of that, I would presume that it would be, because the agenda is posted. And if you wish to offer a comment, the office is open, as has been stated, from 8 to noon and 1 to 5, 5 days a week. You can submit that.
But I understand that, but then, come next week, we're not talking about that subject anymore. I just feel like, while we're on the subject, they should be allowed to voice their opinions on said subject.
Okay.
So maybe we can alter the ordinance a little bit.
That is kind of awkward, but then, when things get out of hand, people start shouting, and then you shout back, and then you're not achieving anything. So, I do agree with you, Laura, in a way. There's only two ways, written or oral. That's what it boils down to.
There are times that it's happening.
Well, and if I may interrupt your train of thoughts here, let's use the playground. Okay, it's been thrown out on the table. There's nothing stopping anybody from talking to any of the council members between now and next meeting, or now and the meeting after that. There's nothing stopping any citizen, resident, from conversing, chatting, whatever you want to say, with any of the council members with their ideas. It doesn't have to be specifically every 2 weeks on Tuesday, right? So, and, the process of writing things down does give you chance to research, to talk among yourselves, thought process. So, if you want to stick with only comments on just the agenda items, then that does limit, because the agenda is posted Fridays, and that doesn't give you much chance.
I guess I'm the only one. Sorry, guys, I tried.
Thank you, Laura. And you're right, and you're wrong.
Okay, Jim.
Both will take care of it.
Jim?
I don't have anything at this time. If we wanted to start on the written, Barbara, do you have the Robert Meader thing dated 3/29/23?
Yes, I do.
Would you care to read that, please?
I think I'm missing the pages somewhere.
Barbara's going to.
Robert Meader turned in an email for a public comment, subject side-by-side UTV use in Lind, dated 3/29/23. Stating, I want to make some points about driving UTV and side-by-sides in the town of Lind. First of all, they are already regulated and licensed for street use by the state of Washington. To legally license and drive a side-by-side on the road, you have to have all of the lights, horn, etc. to make it street legal It is then issued a license plate and registration with the requirement for insurance, just like any other vehicle, except you are only allowed to drive on roads with a posted speed limit of 35 mph or less. The council has discussed this topic a few times now without taking the time to read, research, comprehend, or understand the laws of Washington State or the very codes of the town of Lynn. Looking to the published codes of Lynn, it is further legal for a street legal registered UTV or side-by-side to be driven. You continue to portray it as illegal in either ignorance or maliciousness in an attempt to dissuade people from doing what they are legally allowed to do. An owner of a street registered insured legal side-by-side has been threatened and harassed by you. Yet, according to the Land Code 10.30.010 definitions, 3rd chapter down reads as follows. Off-road vehicle, or ORV, means a non-street registered vehicle when used for recreational purposes on non-highway roads, trails, or a variety of other natural terrain. Off-road vehicle, or ORV, includes, but is not limited to, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, four-wheel drive vehicles, and dune buggies. Therefore, a registered street legal UTV or side-by-side is not considered an off-road vehicle or ORV and is legal to operate in the town of Lynn. You have also harassed and intimidated an individual spraying beads and trying to do work in town using a UTV. So I will further point out to you that you are violating your own written code due to personal biases in this harassment of a man trying to help get rid of weeds, as your code is written. 10.30.020 prohibitions on operating ORV/WATV. A. Exceptions. This chapter shall not apply to the use of an ORV WATV when operated for emergency management, town property and town maintenance, or law enforcement purposes. This chapter shall also not apply to use of an ORV/WATV when operated as farming, construction, snow removal, or vegetation control equipment, and such operation is exempt or eligible for rebate under Chapter 82.38 RCW. It is further written within the code reiterating the allowance of the use of a UTV for use in maintaining personal property. 10.30.030 Protection of rights of way/alleyways. It is unlawful for any person or persons to operate any off-road vehicle, ORV, or wheeled all-terrain vehicles, WATV, on any town rights-of-way and or alleyways unless it is for personal property maintenance purposes. Ordinance 21-03, Section 3, 2021. You have hereby been put on notice to stop harassing, threatening, intimidating, and misleading the citizens of Lynn with your erroneous and biased interpretations and portrayals of the code. Follow the codes as written.
Okay, in regards to that, the written testimony response to submission dated 3/29/23. The matter of ordinance 21-03 prohibiting the use of off-road vehicles, the ordinance is valid. The authorization is contained in the revised Code of Washington, Chapter 46.09.455, subsection D, I. A person may not operate a wheeled all-terrain vehicle on a public roadway within the boundaries of a city or town, non-highway roads and trails, unless the city or town by ordinance has approved the operation of wheeled all-terrain vehicles on city or town roadways, not including non-highway roads and trails. In regard to harassment, the town office has not received any comments of this matter as of this writing. It's signed by me.
Is that legal advice from the attorney or
Excuse me.
you?
Pardon?
Is that legal advice from the attorney or from you?
Ma'am, this is my research on, the authorized use and prohibited use for wheeled all-terrain vehicles from the RCW that was quoted.
The definition of those
We're not
all-terrain
doing back and
vehicles-
forth, guys, that's the thing. We will
It says
write,
right in it,
we
if
will
you have
have
a
a
license, but it's
written,
not an operating.
we will have a written response for Mr. Meader.
If it has a license plate,
Okay.
it's not one.
Excuse me. Next. Do you want to go to the next?
That's all that I have on that.
Council, what do you want to do? What next one?
Anyone? Straighten out.
Cameron Bay, Mr. Cameron Bay.
That was last time.
That was it? Oh, was it? I have a lot of sweet stuff.
Ready? Denise Sneed. Subject is finances. This is on an old form as she does not have an address listed. So she used an old form. It is dated 4/9/2023 with the subject of finances. Myra Horton and Jim Dworshack, being on the finance committee, are culpable and complicit along with Paula Bell and Barbara Pence in the financial problems of the town of Lynn. You are supposed to be protecting the town's money, not Paula Bell.
I think rather than making a blanket statement that if there are financial problems, I would like to be made aware of which problems they are in written form.
Am I reading the next one? Again, on an old form from Denise Sneed with no address, dated 4/9/2023. Its subject is nuisance. The Lynn Code states that an offense to public decency is a nuisance. Code enforcer Henri has been seen walking in his front yard naked and sunbathing naked without a privacy fence. Please address the situation.
I'm sorry, but, are there any pictures or anything to go along with this?
No.
I can get you written testimony of the people that have witnessed it.
We're not entertaining. Next.
Would you like it or not?
Some old ones that came in on April 10th from Randall Hood. Address provided. It is dated 3/26 at 9:37 a.m. Subject as aggressive dog. Had a dog aggressively growl and show its teeth at me. Yelled at dog to get out of my front yard after it had cracked first. It belongs to some gal that was next door scrounging through junk in the alley behind the garage at 305 5th Street, Lynn, Washington. This is the second time I've had this happen in a month's time. the first time a guy and gal were working on some junk car in the driveway and something told dog to get out of my yard. And something told dog to get out of my yard. And it turned on me, showing its teeth and barking at me once again from 305 5th Street, Lynch, Washington.
Okay, just so that the council knows, this is the first written complaint to come in from that address, or about that address. So that will go on the record.
Is there not 2 pages of this stuff?
Yeah, she's gonna go.
Again, an old one that came in on April 10th with a date of 3/23 from Kimberly Hood. This address was the Pacific Pride in Lynn. The subject was a loose dog. She stated, at about 10:25 a.m. at the Pacific Pride fuel station, an uncontrolled dog jumped from a truck with the Caddyshack insignia on it. It was a white female named Susie, possibly a bully breed. The dog not only caused traffic issues between the fuel station and the derby grounds on the highway with the septic truck, but an ambulance as well. After stepping out of my vehicle in front of the pumps to attempt to call the dog out of the highway, it came at me in an aggressive stance. Hackles up, growling, barking, and lunging at me. I was begging the owner to now get her dog away from me. As she called the dog's name, it turned its head, and that's when I went for the door on my vehicle. The dog was right behind me just as I slammed it. The dog then started aggressively at my vehicle and then the tires as I attempted to leave the lot. The owner never left from pumping her fuel to rein this overly aggressive dog in and only called out its name. Terrifying experience, irresponsible pet owner.
And again, council, this is the first that's going to be put into the record for that dog, or that owner.
So what does Kimberly want on that? She wants us to take action on it.
I assume 2, yes.
Both dogs, I've seen them. My Aunt Kennedy's dogs are always getting out. The pit bull that she had is very dangerous. The one that attacked my neighbor the weekend had him more or less pinned up the tree. I had to feed on him with a rifle, but he died. But that, I mean, that's vicious. If they got hold of the child, that tears arms off. You know, perhaps if I seen Henri, I don't know if you do it, but that needs picking up. And I know the police don't come along and do dangerous dog act. So what they basically told me, if you're in danger, and you can protect yourself, do so. You know, so bang, something was out.
But don't shoot off in city limits.
Okay, if I may interject, at the time, I know that it's very difficult for this person to do so, but were they able to call the town office, or was this at a time that the town office wasn't open?
It was funny hours, Jim, but the whole happened so quick. And what it was, where Henri reported the rubbish at 305 5th Street, because the twig is gathered there, the dog belonged to actually one of those people that came out and straight away attacked him.
That was a Sunday.
That was the Sunday, yeah, that was the weekend, so. You know,
Yeah, and this is in here, we have a 10:25 a.m. The date was 3/23, which is within the Monday through Friday, correct? And I can't imagine what this would be like for that person, but I would hope as well that a phone call to the town office would elicit some kind of a response from town employees in regards to that, too, because nobody should have to go through that.
no, not really. And that dog is dangerous.
But it sounds like she was just getting gas though, I mean, they.
Well, I understand.
I mean, especially in your own yard. I wish they'd have done it in my yard.
No, you're talking about two different dogs.
No, both of them. They're both dangerous dogs.
Okay.
You know, things like that just need, there's nothing else to say in that. Either they can put them down the vans and take them off.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that one, that Ted Sherry, 80 stitches, she had that dragged her along the floor, and that's the single sort of dog. And once you've seen that,
That was her dog.
you don't want to see it again. Yeah, ill treatment.
Okay, so kind of answering your question, the Sunday incident, I was called. And I turned around and I called Henri and asked him to go up to the Hood resident. And
And the dog will be there.
and the dog wasn't there, but he did reinforce the fact, please write it down for us. So that's where this came from.
Okay.
April 10th, Anna Dobbins turned in a response, a written comment on an old form with no address. Subject is town lawyer. With so many actions being taken that are questioned as legal, why is the town lawyer not asked to attend a meeting in person for the public to care if these actions are legal? Please have town lawyer attend a meeting to prove actions are legal and not just go by interpretation that is less than accurate. Practicing law without a license is illegal. Giving legal advice without a license is illegal.
Written response back.
Are the actions that are taken pertaining to ordinance, resolution, are they not presented to
Legal counsel, yes. Yes.
I guess we need a little bit more definition as far as question, that are question that's legal.
Anna can answer your question, she's right there.
No, we're not allowed to speak.
Okay.
Also on 4/10/23 on an old form with no address provided from Anna Dobbins with the subject of property encroachment. What are the consequences for encroaching on town property? Can any resident encroach onto town property without consequence, or is that only to the benefit of a council member? She added a definition of encroachment as 1, infringe, invade, or trespass, gradual or stealthy entrance upon another's property. 2, the term encroachment refers to a situation in real estate where a property owner violates the property rights of the neighboring property by building on or extending a structure onto the neighboring land intentionally or otherwise.
Nor do I would think that it would be something that needs to be investigated.
About Myra,
But
you guys know what it's about?
I didn't hear what she said.
It doesn't matter.
so
I have actually a 480-page document on that I downloaded partly today.
Yeah.
Everywhere from encroachment down to water meters, down to, it's all on there. That's very, very complicated. But I've got, it's gonna take me a couple more days to download it all, so.
Okay, but what can we do as a, town council in regard to encroachment?
I think,
What are our options?
that's hard. I mean, I'll have to download the form and let you guys have a look at it.
Okay.
There's so many ordinances and stuff involved in that. It's very detailed report. I only just done it today, actually, so that's, I didn't think it was that long. It is.
I think that we need to investigate it and then write up something to what actions are available to us in that regard.
Yeah, yes, I agree with you there.
Also received on April 10th from Vicki Richardson, Jeff Sharpenberg.
Excuse me.
Subject is the hazmat issue. How many times too, I have to ask why our hazmat issue never addressed or reported to ecology till we did, soil sample till we did, or even call Adams County Emergency Response, Sandy Duffy. Why did we go without water per 10 days? Our day 8 was beginning of whole town without 3 days. Bless you.
I recall we went through with Steve Nelson when he was here, determining the ecological facts that were determined, and the letter was sent in regard to that to Vicki Richardson, if I remember correctly. As far as going without water, if we could have a little bit more information as to when that occurred, that would be helpful.
Also from Vicki Richardson and Jeff Sharpenberg, dated 4/10/23. The subject of trees. The date is 4/10/2023. They have put in the subject comment May 14, 2021. I believe they meant to say trees, although it says tress. Dropped off 2-something p.m. Within 6 weeks, dead. Within 2 hours of me digging up tree, you sent Steve Thompson to pick it up. Why? An inconvenience. I told Steve no. Jeff B.P.O. He took it anyway. Why? Jeff has 5 trailers, 3 trucks in his name at that time. Why?
That also has been discussed.
Okay. I don't know about the rest of this information.
I believe that's the last of the written comments.
Yes, that is it.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
So I want to point out that Vicki Richardson, Anna Dobbins, and Denise Sneed are all right here. And they're taking comments without asking us any questions about them, and they're deciding to put it off for another week. They asked for written comment in the first place so they could have an answer for us at the meeting, and they failed in most regards.